Idents, short for identifiers, are short videos usually lasting between 20 and 60 seconds that are used by TV channels to allow them to be easily identified. They are shown regularly on the channel between programmes to inform the viewer of which channel they are watching. Also, they almost always inform the viewer of the upcoming programme schedule for the channel. Idents can be made up of both live action or animation, or even a combination of both. Idents allow channels to clearly brand themselves by using unique colours and visuals that reflect and sometimes relate to the channel's regular programmes, as well as being appealing and eye-catching to the channel's audience. They are also used to segment the broadcast schedule and allow continuity announcements, whilst filling the gaps in between programmes to ensure there is no dead air space.
We're nipping across the pond with a certain Mr. Kyle for JK in the USA in half an hour here on ITV2. That's after a second one from the Cobbles and a suspicious Carla in Moor Corrie.
They are sometimes used to highlight season presentations on the channel, for example, Simpsons Week and Festive Idents, which are shown during the Christmas period. For example, BBC's Christmas Doctor Who themed ident, which is shown before Doctor Who to inform the viewers that it is coming on next.
We're decking the halls for a magical Christmas here on BBC One.
My first example is ITV, which is a mainstream channel. ITV is the home of high-quality, popular television, from the biggest entertainment events to original drama, soaps, sport, factual series and independent news, both national and regional. Therefore, the idents created for this channel have to appeal to a wide audience. This is achieved by showing the everyday life of the great British public and how they go about their ordinary everyday business. Then the footage is overlaid with the logo so that the audience know which channel they are watching. By using these simple yet true-to-life idents, ITV aims to reflect the mood of the day, the season or the time of the year, whilst being appropriate for the channel's wide audience. As we can see here, a group of young girls dressed in full ballet outfits sit, chat and relax as they prepare for their lesson. On the other hand, the idents created for ITVB are specifically targeted towards a smaller audience, consisting primarily of middle-aged women. This is because the programmes shown on that channel are mostly lifestyle and reality shows, such as The Only Way is Essex and The Real Housewives of New Jersey, which all have a dominantly female audience. As we can see here, the colours used in the channel's idents are bold, vibrant and eye-catching to reflect the glamorous theme of the channel, including the logo, which uses bright colours in comparison to ITV's slightly more subtle colour palette. Also, the idents contain stereotypically girly objects such as bubbles, diamonds and pink donuts, which are appealing and attractive to denote the channel's smaller audience of mostly women. The sound used in ITV's idents is also more subtle and atmospheric, whereas the music used for ITVB is punchy and energetic.
If you missed brand new Towie last night, we've got another chance to see all the...
Overall, although both channels use similar branding in their idents, for example the significant ITV logo, which is present throughout, the idents both use different themes, colours and sounds to appeal to their target audiences. The start of idents generally set the time frame and location. As we can see in this example, the location is a dated hotel corridor involving low-key lighting and film references such as the bike from The Shining to denote the horror genre. Its initial purpose is to draw in the audience by giving visual intrigue. The pace is usually energetic, and in this example there is movement from the start, which is in time with the non-diegetic piano sound to grab the viewer's attention. During the middle section, the music slowly builds, but is lowered during the continuity announcement so that the important dialogue telling the viewer what programme is coming up next can be heard clearly, as it is the main focus of the ident. The ending of the ident contains the logo, which is usually positioned in the same way throughout each suite. It keeps the audience interested by movement, and as we can see in this example, the lights continue flickering. This film, for example, is both entertainment and information-led, as there are film references throughout. Finally, the ident can interact with viewers by varying endings, which also helps reduce costs, or with visual clues such as film references. The idents in this suite all contain a single setting, and they all represent a digital reinvention of the classic celluloid film strip, using a technique achieved largely in camera. The theme of the idents pays homage to moments of cinematic history, whilst containing film references from films such as The Shining and The Graduate. Each ident in this particular suite uses a different soundtrack, although they are all similar in the way that the sound is always in time with the pace of the moving frames. The pace always begins slow moving and then gains speed before slowing back down again. The ident can then be shortened or extended to fill the dead air space. At this point, the sound is usually quietened whilst the continuity announcement takes place. Idents are just one way that television companies build up their corporate identity. Other ways in which they do this include billboards, stings, and menus. The branding reflects the channel, for example, fonts and images, which also represent the channel's personality. For example, Dave is a comedy channel, therefore its theme is comedy. Throughout different platforms, the fonts, images, and other corporate identity features which link to that channel remain similar. This ensures that the audience can quickly and easily recognise which channel the platform is relating to. It also allows companies to brand their content, while also tying on-screen promos together. The tone also reflects the channel and the programming to communicate these visually to the audience. Stings are short visual clues which hint at an upcoming programme or advertise the channel in between programmes. They are shorter than ident, usually lasting around 1 to 5 seconds. It is part of the company's marketing tool to keep an upcoming programme fresh in your mind, whilst letting you know what channel you are watching by reinforcing the animated logo throughout. Promos are part of another platform, and they are used for advertising a particular show, whilst maintaining the channel's branding to show that the promo is part of the same corporate identity. This is achieved by masking over the video with the channel's logo and unique colours. In this example, red lines develop and emphasise the BBC's circle shape. Promos tell us the name of the show and when it's on, as well as occasionally giving us extra information about the website. The fact that the logo is used throughout also emphasises to the audience which channel the programme is being shown on, regardless of where they view the promo. By displaying text-based information in the form of TVN menus, the viewer will be informed of the channel's upcoming schedule. As we can see here, the text-based information tells us what's coming on next and later. Finally, a special menu contains graphics in the background relating to a programme, as well as the channel's logo. Generally, the logo establishes itself in the same way throughout each special menu on the channel, and also the fonts remain the same. This is so that the audience can quickly recognise which channel they are watching. Due to idents being short sequences, companies can push technology by experimenting with new equipment, techniques and software. It is easier to test a new technique out on a small scale, for example ident, because it would cost companies less money and there is less risk. This allows companies to broadcast idents that you wouldn't usually see, for example BBC's Hippo ident, where they have used CGI and 3D models to create swimming hippos. Companies are also able to create different versions of the same ident. For example, the new Christmas-themed ident on BBC One, which focuses on a well-known icon of Christmas, the Sprout. As we can see here, the star of the ident, Sprout Boy, meets characters of television including Doctor Who and Mary Berry. BBC then took the initial idea and created other idents which involved the Sprout Boy. As we can see here, he finds a ring in a Christmas cracker and wears it as a crown. Because these idents don't have a defined ending, it means that the end sequence can play in a continuous loop to fill the gaps. Many digital channels have limited budgets as well as a limited timescale compared to the main terrestrial channels such as BBC One and Channel 4, and some digital channels such as Sky One and Dave. This means that some channels have to create effective and eye-catching idents using limited resources. For example, Food Network, which uses simple clips of people baking and decorating. This simple idea is used across all of their idents, involving different people and different foods. There are also a few limitations when it comes to on-screen graphic representation. When typography is being displayed on screen, it must be clear and easily visible to the audience. Therefore, the fonts used by the TV channels are either sans serif or slab serif, because they are bold and clear, whereas decorative fonts will be more difficult to read. The size of the text is also important because the viewer needs to be able to read it when sat at a distance from the TV. As we can see here, the most important information is usually in the biggest font, and possibly even in a different, more eye-catching colour, so the viewers know it's important. Broadcast safe colours such as safe black, safe red and even safe white must be used for on-screen graphics. This is because most TVs don't display a wide range of colours in comparison to computer and prints. The aspect ratio is the ratio between the height and width of the on-screen image or video. The standard ratio is usually 16.9. In addition, TV uses non-square pixels. TV programmes must fit into a safe area on the screen. The margin around the outside must be 10% to ensure that the text can be seen on all TVs. In addition, older CTR TV screens zoom in as they age, and so manufacturers must account for that. Here is the endboard menu that I have created for Channel 5. To create the menu, I used the editing and designing software Photoshop. I had to ensure that it reflected Channel 5's branding and met the design conventions for the channel by using their colours: 235, which is safe red, EB, 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 which is safe white, and 235, which is safe grey. I also had to reflect Channel 5's branding by ensuring that the font size was larger for the main piece of important information, which is the day the programme is being shown. I then put the title of the programme in red so that it stood out. In addition, I included their logo so that the audience are aware which channel the TV menu is relating to. Finally, I created the menu in HD and ensured that the ratio, which is 16:9, and the dimensions were suitable for a television screen.